Now that Pokemon Go Fest 2021 has officially ended, some of you may have actually accumulated quite a bit of rare candy from the raids on day 2, and you might be wondering how you should spend it. Well, don't worry, I got you covered. Now, as always, before we go in and get started with this video, if you guys do end up finding it helpful and informative, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So in short, rare candy is best used on legendary Pokemon, and in case you guys want a detailed explanation on why that is, I'm gonna leave a link to a video in the top right corner right now so you guys can check that out. The link will also be in the description below. So, like I said, legendary Pokemon are going to be the best use of rare candy. Now, with that being said though, you have so many different legendary Pokemon that you probably accumulated on day 2 from Go Fest. So which ones should you invest in? Well, I additionally do have another video that goes over the top Pokemon to power up in Pokemon Go, but even then, once you check out that video and you kind of figure out, okay, maybe I have like 6, 7, 8 different legendary Pokemon that are good, but I only have like 100, 200 rare candy, how should I divide this up? So here's a good strategy that I think will help a lot of newer and returning players in Pokemon Go. So there are 2 different scenarios that I want to focus on. The first one being just catching a regular legendary Pokemon at level 20, and then additionally catching a legendary Pokemon with the weather boost at level 25. I've talked about this many times on the channel. Level 30 should always be the baseline that you focus on for your power-ups until you get at least a team of 6 of that respective typing. So for this video, I'm going to use the examples of Reshiram and Zekrom. So I focused on these Pokemon specifically during day 2 of Go Fest. Now for Reshiram, I actually ended up catching it in the weather boost form, so I caught it at level 25, but for Zekrom, I only caught it at level 20 in its regular form. So going back to the main question of this video, how much rare candy should I invest on each of these Pokemon? So when it comes down to Zekrom at level 20, you're gonna need about 66 candy to power it up to level 30, and then for Reshiram, which is sitting at level 25, you're gonna need about 38 candy to power it up. So you can actually divide up your rare candy pretty respectively depending on what you're actually working with. If you ended up getting some weather boosted Pokemon, which I know that some of you did based on the comments I got in my recent community post, you don't actually have to invest that much rare candy in total if your main focus is just getting these Pokemon to level 30. And again, you want an ideal team of 6, guys. So let's say, for example, you already have 4 really good fire type attackers at level 30. So you want to invest into 2 Reshiram. So ideally it's going to cost you about 132 candy. Now how much Reshiram candy you already have from the raids, I don't really know, but ideally you can just take the difference from your rare candy and invest it into Reshiram, power them both up to level 30, and you're going to have 2 amazing fire type attackers top of the meta. And essentially you want to do that with every single legendary Pokemon that you have that is currently meta in the game. Once again, I have a video that goes over the top best Pokemon to power up in 2021, so definitely recommend checking out that video before you invest your rare candy. But in case you guys already know which legendary Pokemon you want to invest in, this is a really good strategy to invest rare candy in a very conservative way. Now let's say, for example, on the flip side, you want to power up one of those legendary Pokemon to level 40. Well, this is going to cost you about 248 candy, which is 182 candy more, to really just get a 10% difference in power. Doesn't make that much sense because you could actually reinvest that candy into multiple level 30 Pokemon and have a much better lineup. Now with that being said, if you already have a team of 6, then of course, yes, it makes sense to slowly work your way up to level 40, first at level 35, then at level 40 respectively for each of your Pokemon. But if you're still working on building your team of 6 for all of the respective typings out there, you may want to save some of that rare candy for some of the other Pokemon that you have. For those of you who don't know, I've been playing Pokemon Go since launch, so for about 5 years as a free-to-play player, so it's taken me a ton of time to build out all of my Pokemon respectively for each typing. Yeah, I have a team of 6 really good attackers for every single typing in the game. For those of you out there who are newer or returning players though, this is going to take you some time to do, and whether or not you're spending money on the game, you may get there quicker than others. That being said though, this is still a solid strategy in the beginning that I do recommend that you guys follow through on. And if this wasn't already clear earlier on in the video, this is mainly focused for raids / gyms and not so much PvP. PvP is an entirely different animal and we can cover that in a separate video, but you're gonna need a lot more rare candy if you want to focus on that aspect of the game. I know in the beginning it can definitely seem daunting with all these different legendary Pokemon that you have available, but trust me guys, this is the best way to do it. This is how I did it, and again, this is just my recommendation to you. If you want to invest all of your rare candy into one legendary Pokemon, I can't stop you, but the best way to go about it in my opinion is level 30 baseline. That's going to be 90% of that Pokemon's maximum potential, not including level 50, because level 50 in my opinion is more like over leveling with the extra large candy, so we don't really consider that. 90% of the level 40, right? 90% of a level 40 Pokemon's maximum potential. And yeah, you know, again, extra large candy is an entirely different ballgame. You can't even start earning that until you get to level 40. So for many of you out there, you probably aren't even getting extra large candy yet. But in the future, that's something that's more of endgame content, you can worry about that later. And one thing I also want to mention for those of you who are a little bit confused about the leveling aspect, so level 20 is going to be 2,500 dust to power up, level 25 is going to be 4,000 dust to power up, and level 30 is going to be 5,000 dust to power up. And for those of you who want to keep going even further, level 35 is going to be 8,000 stardust to power up. And of course, the power-ups are going to get more expensive as you continue to go higher. I tend to get this question quite often when I'm going over level 30 Pokemon, so hopefully that does clarify things a little bit better, at least in terms of understanding where your Pokemon currently is in-game. Anyways, with that being covered, I think that's basically everything that I wanted to focus on in this video. Hopefully all of this does make sense to you guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comment section down below. But of course, as always, if you ended up finding this video helpful and informative, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos in the future, and I will see you all real soon in the next one.